How's it going, everybody? This is the Nitty Gritty. My name is Chad. With me, as usual, is Leonard. This is a show about wrestling, and every now and then we do something called Stupid Questions, where I throw a question at Leonard or he throws one at me, and we have to answer off the top of our head. It could be something silly or it could be something that requires a little bit more pondering. Um, this time I am giving Leonard the question.
Sure.
So, Leonard, are you ready?
Yes, hit me.
All right, stupid questions. Who is the greatest WrestleMania main eventer? Based
Well,
that they call Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania
yes.
is the Mr. WrestleMania.
So two names came to mind when you said that. Shawn Michaels being one because he has that moniker of being Mr. WrestleMania. Although I would have to go back and look at how many main event matches or good matches that he actually had. I was just recently Jim Cornette. Someone had asked him about the WrestleMania 12 main event and how for years I think people overrated it, and now people are to the point where they like, yeah, that's not a great match.
Right.
And then of course, I think of when him and Diesel were on the undercard to Bam Bam Bigelow, Lawrence Taylor at 11. But Michaels has some good matches at WrestleMania. His match against Flair was really good. And then the other name that I really think of is Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan main event the first 10 WrestleManias, and then he appeared at a couple others. I try to remember the one where he wrestled The Rock, the one where he wrestled Vince McMahon. And even some of the lesser matches, like say against Sid or King Kong Bundy, even those are fun to a degree, or when viewed in their time frame to a degree is really good. So I would go with Hulk Hogan over Shawn Michaels there. I would probably want to see maybe a list of all the main events or guys who have worked a bunch of WrestleManias. Of course, Undertaker you have to mention as well, considering the streak.
Right.
But a lot of those streak matches, you go back and look, and I've heard Taker admit this, they're not great matches. He's against
Right.
John
Yeah. And they
Gonzalez.
weren't necessarily main events. They were
He
just
was against Snuka as a novelty. It was not always great matches that he was in. And then, of course, he lost the streak to Lesnar, and then he lost the yard to Roman Reigns.
yeah.
And then they did the boneyard match with Styles. So, I mean, but definitely Undertaker has a mystique. If you talk mystique, Taker has a mystique where it comes to WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels has a mystique when it comes to WrestleMania as well. I'm still going to go Hogan. I think Randy Savage had some very good WrestleMania matches.
Yep.
I'm sure Cena and Jericho did. I would need to go look at some lists of the later ones.
Mm-hmm.
In the past few years, I know Seth Rollins has had some good WrestleMania matches. Cody Rhodes has had some good WrestleMania matches. But yeah, I think if you look at, and a lot of people would say this, and some people might find this controversial, but if it wasn't for Hogan, WrestleMania maybe wouldn't be where it was.
Right. No, absolutely. So this question actually came to me because I was going to make a list for the blind ranking of the people that were actually in the WrestleMania main event, being the last match in this case. And I was going to make a list of those and have you do a blind ranking. I still could down the road.
Yeah.
But so that's what prompted this question. And yeah, I mean, for me, if you were to ask WWE today, they would probably throw Shawn Michaels at you simply because he has that name. And I'm sure then after that, they would probably go based on quantity and they throw somebody like Roman Reigns, who's been in a ton of them. But for me, I think of Hogan first and foremost. When you think of somebody that is kind of synonymous with the event itself and is as big as the event itself, Hogan comes to mind. And I would say Shawn Michaels is a close second. I don't necessarily always go for quantity in situations like this. I thought of Savage. He wasn't in a lot of main events, but Austin was also a big part of WrestleMania in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Austin, Rock too.
Yeah.
They were the only guys that main event three different WrestleManias. No, they didn't main event. They wrestled at three different WrestleManias, but I think the last one was not the main event. It was the sub main, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that with 19, it was, I believe, the sub main event. That card was stacked. And I mean, I think Reigns and Lesnar have main evented 3 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They face each other so many times you lose count. But yeah, so I thought that was an interesting question, and our answer is pretty much aligned there.
Well, there's only so many names. I'm sure that there's maybe one or two modern names that we're not really thinking of. Here, let me throw you one back. Who's Miss WrestleMania?
That's tough for her.
Would it be? It would have to be Charlotte Flair.
Has to be, and I know that like she's not always as popular with the fans. Sometimes the way her image changes, people comment on that online. But the fact of the matter is, the constant in the women's division for a number of years is Charlotte Flair when it comes to character and match ability and promo ability. She's always there, and she's always there for a reason. So,
and she's probably been the woman who has had the most matches at WrestleMania. And I know she main evented the first main event of women was her and Becky, and it was a triple threat.
Ronda.
That's who it was, Ronda Rousey. So a lot of that, I think, at least right now, it would be Charlotte Flair, I think, without question.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. All right, well, let us know what you thought. If you have any different opinions, please let us know. I think you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts as well, and check out our other videos. For Leonard, my name is Chad, and we will see you next time.